We are back. The Breakdown Boys, Wade and Sensei, with an emergency. My camera's shaking. Emergency meeting time, Sensei. It is 11:22 Pacific Standard Time here in California, and that means 2.
It's 2:20 EST.
EST.
I was watching a movie with the wifey, and then we fell asleep, and then I wake up to a FaceTime, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" Check Twitter.
Check Twitter is all I said. Check Twitter, bro.
And
so,
here we are.
We're obviously not excited to be here this late at night and to cover the story we have today, but we have to cover it.
Have to.
Happy Punch has removed Deen the Great from the promotion/team. I'm going to pull the tweet up. I don't know how it's gotten to this point. But here's the official tweet. They did it like they did for the UFC when the UFC's fighters are removed. I was like, somebody's been reading a lot of the UFC tweets. But
with that red X?
The fighter removed Deen the Great. Now, we're going to talk about what exactly has happened here, at least to the best of our knowledge, the best of my knowledge, whatever. This is what Deen had to say. Keem just dropped me from Happy Punch with a laughing face. That's crazy, bro. It's at 9:35, a couple hours ago. He said, "I'm so hurt, man. I got dragged into drama and just dropped me like a fly." Now, there was a whole Twitter space that I just listened to, we just listened to, and we're not going to be able to clip all of it because I think it's still live as we are actually talking right here. But just initial thoughts here from you as I'm going to pull some other stuff up here. What is happening right now?
Well, the Twitter space was very enlightening, right?
Yeah.
Very insightful, I should say.
Yeah.
They were popping off in there. But it's Fousey, man. He's at the center of this.
Yep.
Right? He's the source of the drama right now because Deen was the first fighter to Happy Punch.
He was let's just, I guess, space this out. Deen was the first signee to Happy Punch. He was the first guy. He made Happy Punch come to life, essentially, because you can have the promotion. Yeah, that can be Fousey's idea. That can be Keem's business savvy behind it. But if you don't have a fighter, you don't exist. Deen was the first one to make the jump.
Yep, and then, Fousey and Keem were the main guys at that time who brought, Deen on, and then they're having their rift and they're having their issues. And Deen is, I guess, close with Fousey, right?
Very close.
Boys with him?
Very close. Like,
right.
When Fousey's been going through all this manic kind of stuff that we're going to have to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't really like that, but we just are going to have to. Deen has been, just like, by the way, Keem has also apparently been checking on him. Both guys have been, but, Deen is very, very close with Yusuf. Been always, like, in his corner, always had his back. Like, he's very, very close with him.
Right. So Deen's been caught in this situation. It's like
that's the hard part about this.
Like, anybody can relate to this in life when it comes to friendships, relationships, family, right? When you are close with two people, and then those two people, whether it be a working relationship or just a friendship, whatever, and there's separation there.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be, at some point, something's going to come up that's going to make you choose a side.
Well, that's what's happened here, and
here we are.
That's what you're saying. And the hard part is Deen has nothing to do with this rivalry that has been created. We haven't even talked about this on the channel yet, but let's do some backstory to explain.
Yeah.
Fousey has been streaming nonstop on Twitch, now Kick. He's gone on Bradley Martin's podcast, which, by the way, Bradley, hey, I already talked to you on the space, bro. Come on the channel.
Come on, brother.
Come on, bro.
Come on, brother.
We want to talk MMA. We want to talk street fights. We want to talk about how to get it freakishly big like you are. We want to do all that, bro. But this growing resentment between Yusuf and Keemstar has been made public on that podcast, on Fousey's stream, and they've been on some Twitter spaces where it's really gotten dark. We're not even going to go into how and what was said and all that, but they just don't like each other, clearly. And Fousey has left Happy Punch, and to the point where I guess he sold his shares of the company, or at least most of them, to Keem, and that's another thing. Apparently still owns portions of Happy Punch, does Fousey? Like, he still owns 5% of Happy Punch.
That's what was. Yeah, that's what was said. That's what Keem was saying.
I don't know if
Couple
legally
minutes ago.
you can start a competing. Like, we could get into issues legally here,
Right.
if they really look into this. Like,
That's a good point.
you know what I mean? I don't know. But anyway,
It's weird.
Fousey starts G7 Promotions. And G7, for those that don't know, I have to explain it, dude. So G7 is the mantra in which Fousey has gone by for... And by the way, Yusuf, if you're watching this, we obviously support your whole journey here. We're big fans of yours, but we're going to have to talk about some things that are probably a little uncomfortable. Doesn't mean we're talking any shit or anything like that. We just want to make sure that we get this story right. And by doing so means we got to talk a little bit about this. So, Fousey, streaming G7, the mantra, apparently means, according to his kick, 0.4 seconds left on the clock. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. This is directed directly at you, right, man?
Right.
The coach.
Wade gets the rebound, kicks it out to your boy.
I've been had to rebound, you understand, for years now. Kicks it out to Sensei. The coach looks at you. I'm the coach. So Yusuf is the coach. I look at you and say, kid, the ball's coming to you. What are you going to do in that moment? Are you going to trip on your shoelaces and disappoint your mom? Or are you going to show out and put on parade on in your city? Yeah.
Listen, not going to lie. Moms don't be getting disappointed. It's your dad that be getting disappointed. You know what I'm saying? That's the guy that you got to worry about.
Why did he put the thing that Ja Morant says? Okay. He's never won an NBA. Never mind. If you do the latter, you're welcome to join G7. If you're G4, like Aiden Ross, you can still watch and try out again at a later date. G7, it's a mindset, you know?
I like the G7.
I get where he's going with it.
I like that.
I get where he's going with it,
though.
The problem is
Game 7, you know what I'm saying?
No, Game 7, game on the line. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make it or break it.
Yes. Ice in your veins, son.
0.4 seconds is a little confusing to me because that's not catch and shoot. That's literally touch and shoot. Like, you got to be on the turn, ready to throw it.
Yeah, Derek Fisher, that's what he did. Derek Fisher caught and shot it.
I'm saying, that's GG. That's once in a lifetime. Maybe that's the goal.
That's G7.
That's G7. It's G7, son. In fact, it's G7, son. Okay, so there's the whole idea behind G7, right? So he's now started G7 Promotions, and his whole goal, and we have to be clear about this, he has said, is to destroy Happy Punch, to take all their fighters, to take over the game of influencer boxing. Here is the Twitter, and we're going to get into some of the tweets here in a second, but they're essentially doing what Happy Punch does, the graphics, you know what I'm saying, the reporting on news, but also trying to sign fighters, right?
Correct.
So long story short, we get back to this Deen thing. Now, the timeline's a little messy, right? But the other day, Yusuf was in Vegas with Hasim Rahman Jr., who we just saw tonight, actually got stopped in his fight, which sucks, man. Yes. We're big fans of Rock, so that sucks. But he's been doing this thing where he's like, oh, I'm going to sign all Happy Punch's fighters. You want to sign with Happy Punch? Or you want to sign with G? It's going to get so confusing doing this. You want to sign with G7? And he's asking Rock that on his live stream. So you're essentially putting the guy on the spot.
Yeah. Knowing
he's with the other team and knowing that's going to be a weird thing for them to deal with in that moment.
Tampering.
Legitimately tampering. Like, this is Adam Silver. Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to figure this thing out. What are we doing here? But this is like some foreshadowing is what we were going to see with Deen, because Rock is sitting there going like, what, huh? Like, oh, what do you mean? What? No. What? Like, how do you answer that? And of course, you can't just be like, no, first off, fuck your clique and the bitch you claim or whatever. And I think it's backwards.
Hey,
I think it's
bars.
backwards. First off, first your bitch and the clique you claim. I think it's the lyrics, but don't quote me. But you can't do that to Fousey because he's a nice guy and you're on his stream and you're trying to, help him make content or whatever.
It's tricky. You're trying to you're just trying to like get by.
Just like,
trying to survive that conversation.
Just get out of here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the same thing kind of happens with Deen, right? Mm-hmm. Where now Fousey, I guess, gets him on the stream, and I think it'd been going on for a couple of days where Fousey was like trying to be like, yo, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna come sign with G7? You gonna come sign with G7? And I guess from the horse's mouth, the horse in this case being Keemstar, said that apparently Deen went on the stream and in I guess so many words said, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going to do a Deen impression because I feel bad about this whole thing, and I can't, like, I hate it for Deen.
I know.
Nah, fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know what you're saying. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? If it makes dollars, it makes sense, right? That was apparently.
That was good.
That wasn't bad, right? Deen, it's done with love, brother, of course.
Yes.
But that, as I guess, was what was said on Fousey stream. Keem, again, from the Twitter space, this whole time is saying, okay, well, are you going to sign with them? And I guess there was a miscommunication about, Keem trying to reach out to Deen. Deen he's on vacation. He doesn't want to, get involved.
Right.
I don't know.
That's what was said by both guys.
Yeah.
Like, it was clear that Keem said he tried to reach out maybe like once. Deen said it was once, but regardless, whatever, he tried to reach out.
Try to reach out.
Dean clearly didn't want any part of the drama, so he's just like ignoring it.
On vacation,
in terms of, like,
whatever.
Doesn't want to talk to Keem and
he doesn't get back to Keem about
have that conversation just yet,
Right.
know. And then he says that, and then he says that he's left in the dark, so he's not going to be left in the dark when that happened. And then I guess Fousey was also saying on the stream some other stuff that I'm taking fighters. And
he's saying on the stream I'm taking fighters, and then someone asks him, announce it's right here. Announce Deen to G7 already tomorrow. Again, when you're saying stuff like this, as the guy that came out and said, I'm starting a promotion and we're going to destroy Happy Punch, and as the one flipping off Happy Punch and playing Death Row Records in every stream, he just like clicks. It's like somehow he has it on autoplay ready. As soon as Happy Punch gets brought up, he's like, click. First off, fuck you, bitch, in the click. I'm like, he's like damn, he just got it all like fucking ready. But it's every time, and then you have Deen, again, caught in a tough situation where he's trying to joke around with this. I'm assuming he was joking around with Yusuf and, like, trying to be like, I'm saying, I don't know. And now that's on camera. And then I guess the fact that you compile that with the miscommunication between him and Deen, or him and Keem, in the back and forth they were supposed to be having.
Right, but it does get a little real because Deen...
That's what I'm saying, because Keem doesn't talk to him, so he's seeing all this, and he's seeing that, and he's seeing Yusuf say this, and he's got to be like, okay, well, shit.
Right, and then it gets a little real. What I mean by real is that Deen says, hey, you're not treating Fousey right, you're not treating him like a friend.
Oh, yeah,
so
that
there's
happens,
like some real animosity there where Deen goes, Keem, if he was your friend, you would have done this. You know, you're backstabbing him.
Yeah.
So Keem's like, whoa. And then Deen also acknowledges, because Keem says, hey, Deen, you said if it makes money, it makes sense. And then Deen doesn't blow it on the Twitter space. He doesn't blow it off as in like, well, I just had to say something. You know, he said, well, if I'm getting offers, that's the game. I gotta have to. So it's like, oh, so you were kind of engaging in the offer and entertaining it, so to speak.
Again, from Keem's point of view.
We were talking, and I was like, bro, this is like you're friends with your ex and you with your new girl.
Yep.
And you're like, no, we just friends, dude. It's like, well, hold on a second.
Yeah, it's tough though. It is, because you're if you're Deen, you're.
I saw your location. You were at the crib. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then you weren't answering your phone.
Right.
And you're doing the whole, no, listen, just believe me. And then it's like, then she posted a picture on Snapchat.
Right. Yeah.
And
then it gets dicey. It gets dicey.
It gets dicey quick. You're like, no, you're gonna break up with me over that? It's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Well, yes.
It could get
it's
very
tough.
And I get it from Keem's point of view. It's like he's getting no communication, right? So he has to think something's going on here. When in reality, here's what I think, and this is just an opinion, but I think Deen was caught in a tough place here.
Extremely tough place.
And I think
it's almost impossible.
It's impossible. And I think if there is any blame, and I hate to say it like this because I do like Fousey, but Fousey was wrong for doing this, man. For putting Deen in a position on stream, and I know you're streaming 24/7, everything's real G7, but this is your boy. And for you to get on stream and be like, so when you come into G7, knowing that that's going to cause us problems.
Right. You're putting him in that position.
And it's not that you're
you're
trying to attack Keem, and I get that, but you're catching your boy in the crossfire here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're putting him in a position where it's now I don't think anything super negative comes from this for Deen, to be honest. I mean, the loyalties and the friendships and the bonds, that's going to be rough to give up because they helped him out a lot, you know, and I related to him a lot. I said this on the Twitter space. I was like, Deen, if you don't want to talk about this stuff right now, it might be best if you just take some time, because when you're emotional and emotions are running high, you're going to either say something in the heat of the moment that's not going to be able to be taken back, or you're not going to be able to put your thoughts together in a way that's going to best represent you, you know? And I just wanted him to take that time, but I also get it. I also, you know, if he wanted to have his name and have his say about the situation, then fair play. But before we go any further, this is what happened when Deen was, again, I think he called to Fousey after they dropped him. And Fousey's live, so I haven't actually seen this clip, but shout out Alex Wasabi's in the clip as well. He's trying to kind of hide off screen.
What's up, Alex?
Yeah. What we say? We going home or go play some Mario Kart? What we doing? Okay. Oh, you getting a phone call. Okay. I'm going to go over here. That's cool. Now I'm just over here chilling. I ain't want to smoke. I'm good, bro. We good. Hey, Keem, what's going on? Oh, sorry. Okay. We done? This is what he had to say. I haven't actually watched this.
Yo.
Shout out to Dr. Mohammed Ericott. Love to YouTube videos.
Yes, Deen. Don't call me if you don't want it live. Every conversation is.
And now I know because all these niggas is all fucking Keem and fucking Happy Bunch is sending me shit saying, "Oh, you're switching sides."
They can suck my dick. They can suck my dick. I don't care.
Y'all niggas involving me in the shit to where I got to pick sides, bro. Like,
that's the point. That right there is the point. And this is why I said Deen is the one that gets the worst of this, because he's trying to explain to Fousey, now you got Keem and everybody else saying, oh, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to go over there, do that. And the first thing Fousey says is, suck my dick, I don't give a fuck. It's not about you, bro.
So saying when you're friends with your ex, dude, it gets crazy, dude.
It's not about you. Think about your guy in that moment and be like, ah, shit, okay. Yeah, but that's not but again, Fousey's not thinking like that.
I've known you longer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. He's like trying to, because what he's doing is trying to use that situation to pull Deen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, yeah, fuck all that. Come on. It's not the way you deal with this stuff, man. It's not a game of points. You know, like who's gonna score more points? Who's gonna win the little argument because I'm really sticking it to Keem? No, dude, it's gonna fuck up him and Deen's relationship. It probably already has.
Yeah, this is why, because Fousey right now is in the mosh pit, dude.
Super.
And he's just going ham.
Like,
so it don't matter.
Literally looks like just what you would see in a mosh pit, face down and just swinging to hit whoever.
Just swinging
to hit whoever.
He's going after. He's trying to.
Bro, we watched him. We watched him replace lyrics to a J. Cole song on stream right after, just to be like, you know what I'm saying, fuck Keem and all this.
Off the top too. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, he was freestyling. Fair play to him.
That's the thing. Like, he's just in the zone,
and he's loving it though. He hopped in the space.
So you got to know that if you're in there with him, it don't matter.
You got to get in the foxhole.
You might get clipped. You know what I'm saying?
I know, bro. You getting hit with crossfire. And Deen even said, he was like, "That's my brother. Like, of course I'm gonna, ride for him." But it's just, it's so tough. But
you can do that. But listen, if your ex hits you up and says, "Listen, I need to talk to you. We got to have a conversation. I need your help. I need you to be there for me."
Yeah.
You better talk with your girl right now and let her know what's up.
Yeah.
And say, "Listen, I'm going to go talk to her. We're going to be here. I may not answer the phone or whatever." You got to keep him in the loop, because if anything comes out and it's by surprise, or if they find out the information from somebody else, that is the worst thing, dude. If your girl or whatever, your significant other finds out information about you, doesn't come from you, it's over.
Well, you said that he had to keep him in the loop. I mean, it's his Keemstar, so when he gets the scoop, he has got to keep him in the loop. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of the channel. I'm a fan. But let's see what happened with the rest of this call, man.
fuck, my nigga.
Deen, I know.
You my friend, you my brother at the end of the day, bro, which is what I was gonna talk to you about on stream tomorrow, about all this shit.
Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
It's like if it make money, it makes sense. But I was gonna talk about that on stream. That's just why I wanted to get on stream.
All right, and we'll talk about it. Say whatever you want tomorrow. I'm not gonna say anything. Say whatever you want tomorrow.
Obviously, bro, but I'm just saying now it puts me in a position where he was like.
Oh, so that Deen didn't know that clip was gonna be out there.
Okay, you fucking plug your channel. Sorry, what were you saying? Go ahead.
So Deen didn't know that was recorded and that was live. If it makes money, it makes sense.
So that's another twist in this thing too, because if he said
the Keem that I was gonna talk to him tomorrow on stream, but not say much or something, and then that comes out.
Yeah, bro. And of course,
you told me you were going out to eat. You told me.
Yeah, right. So it's like,
oh, buddy.
It's like, bro, it's bad, dude. Because, and this is the point that I think that Keem was trying to make in the space, and because I know a lot of people are going to come after Keem here, because he dropped Deen, and Deen is obviously very beloved by everybody, us included. But from Keem's point of view, he sees all this stuff happening. He's not getting an answer from Deen, but he also sees that Deen has enough time to call Fousey.
Yes, and that, bro, it's not just the what, it's the who, It's
the who, and they've been going back and forth with Fousey saying that, I mean, I don't want to get into all of it, but he's been saying Keemstar made me want to kill myself. I don't even know if I can even say that on YouTube, in a video game, whatever. But that's how serious this has gotten between those two. So and I'm sure.
Remember their Twitter space.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It got dark.
That was wild.
It got dark, bro. We sat here and listened to it after the fact. But if you're Keem, you're talking about that guy, a guy that not only has said all those things about you, and again, justified or not, we're not going to even I'm not taking a stance on that. I have nothing to do with that.
Correct.
But it's still bad blood. You're talking about a guy that you were supposed to be business partners with that is no longer with the company, is starting a rival company to destroy your company. And again, I'm sure Keem wanted Deen. This is probably what Keem wanted. Deen to call him before he did any of that stuff and said, hey, Fousey's wanting me to talk about this. I'm gonna goof off about it, but I'm still with Happy Punch. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably all it would have taken, but
dude, relationship communication 101.
Look at you smiling. You got white. Listen, you wifed up. You get it. The rest of us are out here just trying to figure it out, bro.
I know what I'm doing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We trying to figure it out. You the man with all the answers here. You know what I'm saying?
You know how like they say art imitates life.
Yeah.
This is like an example where like anything in life imitates life itself.
Yeah.
Like it shows up.
You could take this in any portion of your life.
Any portion of your life when it comes to communicating to another human being, if you have any form of relationship with them, any type of relationship, this is a perfect example. Even the stuff that's going on with Fousey, which I do want to talk about, not specifically to him, but just in general. Because it has like correlation. That's why I say like the funny stuff about like relationship, but it is literally the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. The source of the issue right here, the reason this blew up to everyone's like, why is he dropping him like that? Bro, like.
My first thought, too. I'm like, bro, how? What is happening? But now with some context, you understand that this is like we've walked into a war here. G7, Happy Punch has become a war. And it's become a war.
And a war that Fousey started. And is trying actively, publicly to continue. Like, Keem is not saying, oh, I want to destroy G7 before they start. Keem is saying, I want my guys to be loyal to me because I was loyal to them, whatever. And again, I'm not saying that Deen wasn't loyal at all. I'm just saying he got put in a spot here where he is the number one guy, and they both were there when they signed him. So he has loyalty to both, and it's just like two people pulling on him, in different directions. I just can't, bro. I'm trying to be serious. I saw your face. I already knew what was coming. Right? I'm trying to be serious here. The worst part was, I think you realized, was the gesture. I mean, it physically was
all fucked up, bro. I looked at you. Your face was like this. It was like in the beginning stages of like, what did he say? Hey, yo.
And you're like, the
I
funny thing is you
stopped
paused
in this-
yourself, dude.
I physically and verbally paused. Okay. Anyway, dude. What do we do from here? What is going on? What do we like? How do we move forward? Because
This is us. I hope that Deen doesn't sign with G7 or something, and he just able just to
just
like,
be
get
just
himself,
be a free agent at this point, dude.
yes, away from it for now.
Because
So, you
this
know
is
what I
not
mean?
gonna. This is another thing we have to talk about, and I guess we're gonna do it here because I was planning on doing a separate video about this later down the road, but like I understand Fousey's points. He even said it today on his stream. You know, Happy Punch, they don't pay their fighters. They're not paying nobody. Come to G7, signing bonus, all this. What Yusuf is not saying, and maybe I don't know all the story here, but I'm just looking at the business of Happy Punch. They're not taking percentage from their fighters either. Sure, you know, they're having them wear the team gear and things like that, but they're also paying for those things to be made and then giving them to the fighters, right?
Yeah, I don't know anybody else's
Yeah.
deal at Happy Punch, by the way. I don't know what they
No.
have.
Yeah, if some guys may be getting paid, some guys may not, but
Right, I
Keem
have
has
no
said
idea.
publicly that he doesn't, like, no fighters are, he's not taking percentage from anybody.
Right, with me, he didn't take anything from me.
But he is, got the right hand of Mams. He's put himself in a position to be very close to the promotion that is going to get fighters on. But he's also given fighters not only an opportunity to fight on these cards, but sometimes getting them paid more than they would as a free agent to fight on these cards.
Yep, I can say that personally. He made me more money than I would have made myself. That is for sure.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if you're G7, and we're not trying to make this look at what, I just worry
Yeah.
that Fousey's getting into this without understanding the business side.
Well,
You
I
know,
want to say this. It's not just that, it's the intention. So
very
if
much
I'm
a
fighter,
revenge play.
And
It's not about
Correct.
fighter. It's about destroy Keem.
And if I'm a fighter, I gotta look out for myself. So this isn't about Fousey. This isn't about Happy Punch.
Yes.
This isn't about
Yes,
Keemstar or
yes,
whatever.
yes.
This is about me and my own, right? This is me
Yes.
talking as a fighter, whatever. If I'm trying to make a decision about someone I want to go with, whatever it is, right? It's tough if you feel like this promotion only exists to get at another promotion.
Do you feel like the guys have
You know?
your best intention at heart, or are they trying to do it and sign you to be better than X promotion? And at the end of the day, if that doesn't happen, if they don't get past X promotion, are they still going to have your best interest? Or is this thing going to fizzle out and you're going to be left to pick up the pieces?
Yeah, it's tricky,
You know what I'm saying?
Because it may be a thing where, hey, if I'm looking for short money and I'm like, hey, G7 they're gonna give me
Signing
a
bonus? Cool, yeah.
and I get a fight. All right, maybe I get a couple fights and I can move on from there. I only want to fight one or two more times, anyways. So, you know what I'm saying? There's benefit there. I get for anybody. You can find the benefit, but there are obviously some cons, and there's some things that like you worry about. And it's just a
messy thing.
It's
bro.
an ugly, messy situation, dude.
All of it. And because everybody has such close personal ties, this is literally like civil war that we're seeing
Yeah.
in front of our eyes. Because
Facts.
I know all the guys on Happy Punch have an affinity for Yusuf and are, they like him. He's a good dude to them, or has been, always been a good dude to me. And so it's tough to even talk about all this. Same with Deen, dude.
I know.
This is the one takeaway I want to leave out here is that at the end of the day, I think that there's probably things that Keem will admit he's done wrong or maybe jumped the gun on here, but I know, and you've told me this, that Keem just values loyalty like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter maybe to him how this thing shook out or that Deen was in a bad position, but I think that there should have been at least one day, that all parties should have just take a day.
Yeah, it was just too hot, man. It's
too
the
hot.
situation was way too hot. From the call that what is it called? The Twitter space.
Twitter space.
Look at me, freaking boomer over here.
From the telephone call that happened on the, is it Ethernet or is it internet? How do the kids call it these days, Susie? I don't know who Susie is, but.
But yes, the Twitter space that Keem just had with Fousey when they went at it, that was hot. And then Fousey comes out and is like, F happy punch.
More,
I'm taking you down. So it's super hot.
Yes, bro.
So it just got caught in the crossfires. We're talking, this wasn't a ceasefire day. This was a day when we're going to war. And then Dean's like, yo, I'm in the middle. It's like, dude, what? Get down, son.
Duck.
He's like, no, I'm standing right here. Oh, no. You about to get caught. That's literally what happened.
I just think that both, I mean, listen, Yusuf was never going to stop. He was always going to keep drilling and always going. I think this is where I'll say I think Keem could have been better, is if he would have just given it a day.
Yeah.
The decision would have been made for him if he would have given it a day. And maybe that's why he didn't do it. Maybe he wanted to get out in front of it.
Right, because it's hot, bro.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to have his.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to be made look a fool. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I can get that part of it too.
Yeah,
it's tough.
that's the other part.
Going to war, I ain't backing down.
I would have
you know?
just. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna slash your tires.
I'm gonna shoot first. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot first.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shoot first and ask questions later. But I hate it because it's tough, and this is why it's like I can't say Keem's fully wrong here. I can't, and I think if anybody's fully wrong, it's Yusuf. It's Fousey, man.
Talk about the twist, and then Fousey over here like, Wade's the best.
And I appreciate all that stuff. I saw it on his stream.
I love Fousey.
No, he's the man. Fousey's the man, and he's like,
He's
yeah, Wade runs the scene, all this, and I'm not saying this like
backing up my dog too.
to hate
Come on
him.
now.
You know what I'm saying? At all. Like, I just think in this situation, he should not have put Dean in this situation like that, bro. Listen, free to do whatever you want, free to go and shit all over Happy Punch and try to, you know, in your mind or in reality, build this G7 thing to be the next great YouTube boxing. If you really think you can do it better than Keem, Yusuf, go and do the shit. Kill it, man. Destroy it.
Right.
I'm down with it. But doing it in the way he did it here with Dean was not right. It just wasn't. It didn't feel right to me. It felt like a guy that was...
I feel like Dean was like, didn't realize that Fousey's in the mosh pit. And he's like, hey, guys, so what's going on here
Still
today?
kind of joking around.
Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
it's too much.
Because when he called Fousey, right, when we just watched that clip,
yeah,
he was, you could tell on the tone of his voice and what he was saying was like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah, bro.
Look what's going on now. And Fousey's like, what do you mean?
He's like, suck that. And he's so in it.
He's like, dude, I got hit. I'm bruised. I got cut. And he's like, what? You know?
He's like, good. Come over here. We'll bandage you up. Good. You know, it's like, no, bro, you don't get it. So I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I don't know how much this will affect business for Dean. He's got such a big name already. Like,
I think it might be a positive thing, dude.
At this point, it may be.
It may add to the storyline.
It's gonna, yeah. It could build around his next fight even more. You know what I'm saying?
If there's G7 fighters coming up,
to
there's
be honest,
punch fighters.
At this point, he can, in his personal life at least, I'm sure this is a little bit of a weight off his chest.
Yeah.
To be like, fuck, man, okay, finally I don't have to do this thing where I'm like kind of talking to Fousey, but he's on stream all the time and I can't, and I kind of got to like explain myself to this. Like, just he can go and this is why I am only team fucking breakdown, son. Only. Ever. And I heard Dean say this tonight about like, if you're an op to my friend, you're an op to me. You are the only person that I am with that. My family and you, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's brotherhood right there. And that's the only way.
Loyalty.
That's the only way I can be. So that's why I can't do. Yeah. I would never, like, when Happy Punch came with the offer early, no. If Fousey was like, yo, G7, I'm like, dude, I'm G1, bro. I'm just not I don't have it in me. When the coach looked at me and said, it's your time, I'm the one that trips over his shoelace. I can't do it, dog. I can't. So
yeah, facts.
I hope for the best for both sides. Actually, the one side I hope the best for is Dean. He's the one.
That's the thing I feel bad for the most, because I feel like he's getting the worst end of it.
He's getting the worst of it. Keem is going to be fine. He's got a ton of fighters on Happy Punch. They're not going anywhere. G7 is going to keep thriving. It seems like Fousey's killing it on Kick. Dean is going to thrive. It's just in this moment, it's going to be tough for him, because I was there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, Dean, shout out to you, bro. Sucks, man. Sucks being in these kind of positions, but it'll work itself out. It's just that word that we all don't want to hear, time. Time will work it out. But comment section, you let us know.
Wait, we gotta talk about Fousey real quick.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to ask you just real quick.
Yeah.
Because this thing right here, we're all doing it. You know, we're all stuck in this dilemma of chasing your dreams.
Yep.
And the balance of being super passionate and doing everything you can. And Logan Paul's another example of that.
Yeah.
Doing everything you can to make yourself successful at something. And what's that balance of doing that and then it affecting the people around you or yourself negatively? Like how do you weigh that out? Because he got this huge deal, right? We just saw him. He had like 16,000 concurrent.
Killing it, yeah.
You're talking 7-figure deals. He's talking about retire his family at the end of the day,
yeah.
right? So is he going to be right? Will it be worth it? Would it be worth it to you? You know what I'm saying? And you're seeing stuff like this, and his mental health, his physical health.
Yeah. No, first off, we're not here to like pocket watch Fousey. He said these things, so we're just whatever. But
yeah.
If that is the case, I mean, I can speak from my experience. This is something that you've taught me. I remember when you said it to me. We were sitting in the dojo. Christian was like over there. I'm gonna do a Fousey. Christian was sitting to my right. He was like fucking around. I don't know what he was. I think he was trying to work on his kicks. But I was sitting there, and you were telling me why you're able. Because I'm always worried about YouTube numbers. And I remember even we were at Creator Clash and we did the face-to-face, and I was worried about it. And you're like, bro, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And this is like the second day you knew me. You're like, don't worry about it. But we're sitting in the dojo, and you're like, the reason you don't see me having to take breaks from like my thing, and I can kind of just do YouTube whenever, and I'm not burned out mentally, is because my things are the things that I genuinely love. Like, I have the YouTube as a side thing. I love the dojo. I love football. Because I'm baffled when you tell me I'm going to go play semi-pro football when we got a chance to make like 10 grand at Misfits number 4. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no, Isaiah, we got to go, bro. We get the ticket, whatever. You're like, no, dude.
And there was like 17 people at the game.
There's
like
no
players.
one there. You're not getting paid.
Make it.
You're like scrapping the team together. And
dude, but you have no idea how much fun I had, dude.
But that's the thing.
It was great.
And you're playing Fortnite before like your first big time face to face. You're hosting by yourself, doing your whole thing. This is what makes you so unique, and this is why I look up to you, because you genuinely have no care for any of the things that are not your core. And it's not a numbers game, and it's not a rat race, and you're able to keep yourself not only humble, unbiased, but also like centered in your life, and it doesn't burn you out. This is what guys, honestly, I can say for myself, this is something I have to work on. I lost relationships because of YouTube, and because I was so dedicated to this, and I made those choices. I can understand as a man, I made the choice to do this and not give my time to something else.
Right.
For Yusuf, I don't know if he even feels like he has a choice.
Yeah.
To him, I think this is, like, in his mind, destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like the G7.
Right.
This is what it means. My worry is the same one yours is. What happens when this stage either meets its end, as in you made it, this is the top, because Fousey's been at the top.
Yeah.
And we've seen the come down from that, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll be worth it. I hope for him that all the things he wants to do, all the money and whatever it is that he gets is what he can eventually do. He's talked about starting a nonprofit. I think that's amazing. Retiring his family. I think all this in theory is amazing. I just worry about the practical use of it. And this is not us hating. It's just
no.
We're just looking at it from an outsider perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to add because I wanted to ask your perspective because there were some things that stood out to me, because when you're seeing this behavior, the intensity to achieve something, there has to be a source of that motivation.
Yeah.
Right? And the source of that motivation is either going to be a good thing or a bad thing or a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And for Fousey, it seems like to be a little bit of both. And you talked about it, like with me, why am I feel so centered? I'm always at peace, because the things that matter to me, like the people that matter to me, all that is good. And I'm doing my best to keep that positive. And when that stuff is good, I'm good. But when it's not good, I'm not good.
Yeah.
So I just so happen to be very fortunate that those things happen to be going very well.
Yeah.
Right. And I am a part of that in terms of the communication and how I allocate time with my family. And I'm very happy with the amount of time I spent with my family and the people that I care about. Right.
Yeah.
But Fousey has talked about openly on the Bradley Martin show and even on his own stream that his relationship with his father You know, he just said, like, his father said, like, I love you for the first time. Like, I saw the clip where he goes, I love you, Dad. And his dad says it too. He's like, this is the first time. Like, and he talks about it on the stream. Like, this is the first time you said it. And it's you can see that it's a huge deal for him. And then he talked about it to Bradley that when he made it, he was paying his family, paying his dad, and like retired them.
Yeah.
And then when he lost that, I don't know if it was July 15th or whatever.
Right. Whenever it happened, yeah.
He lost it and couldn't do that anymore. And there was a sense that like he got this sense of great disappointment from his father.
Yeah.
That he wasn't that guy. And Fousey openly said, I believe it was on the Bradley Martin podcast, where like he wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right. And when you're talking about like yearning for love and gratitude and the sense of pride from someone like your dad, who he clearly cares about his dad, like that's important to him. What's amazing right here to me, when you talk about like art imitates life or like life imitates life, this is a perfect example. This one thing, the thing that for me is the thing that keeps me at peace.
I was just going to say
for him, because it's not at peace, literally manifests itself into him being one of the biggest kick streamers, like in the mosh pit, in terms of just buckle down. I'm going to do everything I can and just push everyone out of my way until I achieve this thing. Because in his mind, it's if I can get to the end of the road, and now the grass is greener. Right now he can see the light.
Yep.
Because now
it's working. It's happening.
It's working, and it's working very well. Yeah. This is something that I remember talking to someone about like, why do people do drugs? And they asked me, like, would you ever do drugs? I said, one of the reasons I would never do drugs is not because they're bad for me. It's because I know that they feel good and they work. The reason people do drugs is because they work.
Yeah.
If they didn't work, no one would do them.
Yeah.
Right? People who go, how come it's people who aren't doing it are like, it's so bad for you. I would never do that. Yeah, because it hasn't worked for you. Yeah. If it does, you're in trouble, son.
Yeah, son. You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Fousey is doing this and it's working for him, and it seems like it's gonna work. So like I hope
I do too, man.
That this all works. Because if you go down this road and you're making these kind of sacrifices and you're doing things for the greater good for yourself. Yeah. Right? For the bigger picture. And you're kind of like making these decisions that you probably wouldn't have made, but you're telling yourself
it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth
it,
right?
Right? And then it doesn't. It's tough. And what not baffles me, what it saddens me, but I feel like people can, our viewers, our fans can get from this is, you don't have to be. He's not doing this to be the number one kick streamer. He's not doing this to be successful. To me at least, it seems like he's doing this to try to fix some sort of relationship with his father, which will help his relationship with himself. Because his relationship with his father and his family is not good, that in terms gives him a poor relationship with himself. Clearly.
Yeah.
Right? So if you could maybe kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. But it's so simple. He's on the phone and his dad just says, I love you too. And you see a completely different Fousey in that moment.
Switched.
Just a little. And again, look at Deen and Keem, all this turmoil and drama. Yeah. Just basic communication. Yeah. People, and this is men learning how to communicate and express themselves and speak, manifesting itself into
in real time,
like trending Twitter, happy punch, fighting events. We're gonna build to storylines. Like it's like the way it's gonna bleed into everything.
Yep.
When it's some little thing,
a little
not
nugget
little in its significance, but it's exactly a little nugget. Is incredible. So I just hope that it doesn't. I wish it didn't have to take all of this for Fousey to have like a relationship that I have. With my dad.
Yeah, you and Kiyoshi are.
You know what I'm saying?
Like no bullshit. Looking at you and your father is the dopest thing to me. Like I love my dad.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
I love him. Without my dad, I'm not me, and that'll always be that. But there is something different about not only the love and respect and just the relationship.
Well, it's unique because we have it's like a double relationship because he's also we share something in the martial arts, and obviously our job be like literally I do the same job that he did and that he does, so there's more connection there, right? But even like with my mom or my family and my siblings, there's a level of significance that it plays in my life that I clearly show that it's more important than anything else going on.
Yep.
Right. And so it's just, I feel like if he could achieve that, wouldn't have to do any of this.
True.
Right? But that's the way the life is. Listen, with
I know.
LeBron James,
With
if his
Pops
dad was in
there,
his life,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's crazy in that sense. But I hope, even if Fousey's listening, I would love to talk. I've talked to him quite a bit, not recently, but
Yeah.
in the last few years during his fighting times. I'd love to talk to him again. But
Yeah.
I just hope he does well, and I hope that I would, I'm like, I don't really care whether or not he's successful in those things. I don't want him to be not successful.
It's
like,
not the important
I
thing.
hope
Right.
that the end game is that he's at peace and that his relationship with the people he cares about is at peace.
I would say
It looks like he's trying to achieve that, but it's just like,
it's taking the long road to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, man.
I would say this. What it seems like to me, and Fousey, I just want to continue to say this. This is we are not saying this in any way to take you off the road to G7, whatever it is that you feel is going to be the right path for you. This is kind of blossomed into us just talking directly to Fousey, but we started this video talking about how Deen the Great is kind of the one getting the shaft here, and you feel for Fousey for whatever he feels personally attacked from Keem. Same from Keem. You feel like he's just protecting his team and all that. For Fousey, I'll just say this, and I think this is where we'll wrap it up, but I hope that the thing that brings him happiness is what you've talked about, the relationships, all that, and I hope it's not this dopamine. I hope it's not this hit, because if that's the case, the thing that brings him the most happiness is also the thing that in the past, I'm not saying that's happening right now, but in the past has brought him the most sadness.
Yeah.
When he feels like
it's not reliable. Right. It's not reliable.
Yeah. So
it's up and down. You want peace, not happiness.
Yeah.
You don't want dopamine. Dopamine, you get, what I mean?
That runs
great,
out.
Peace.
Yeah. So
when you have peace, son,
different.
Woo.
Different, man. So listen, the only thing I want a piece of is more communication in this scene. Give me a piece of that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it feels like we're all over the place, and it just makes us all look. I don't know. It makes us all look goofy when we.
We'll get there. I mean, drama's a part of life. This is it makes it interesting. It gives us something.
We
to
still
talk
got
about.
it's our baby legs in this scene. We're still growing. So to everybody involved, like I said, Dean, we feel for you, brother. It'll be good. I texted Dean. I was like, listen, man, you need anything, let me know. But we'll figure it out. Keem and Yusuf looks like it's gonna be, or Keem and Fousey. I keep calling him Yusuf because that's his name, but. Fousey and Keem looks like it's going to be a civil war for the ages. We will be sitting here with our popcorn. I can't lie to you. We will be.
Yeah, no.
But it will be done in the hopes that both come out the better for it and no one gets, whatever the shaft in this scene. You don't want that. So comment section.
No.
It was a long one today, but you let us know what is going on with this situation, what happens with all three parties involved, and are you guys at peace?
Yeah.
Because that's what we want. Are you guys watching the breakdown in that
Come on
piece?
now.
Because that's what we need in this life, man. We don't have those answers. But for everybody involved, for all parties, G7, Happy Punch, Dean, I guess we'll find it.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off.